recently got promoted to director at my company, and they told me I was a leader, not a manager. What does that mean? Look, there's a huge difference between managing people and leading them. Here's an excerpt from a training session I did earlier in the year. I think it explains the difference.
And he said, what's the difference between management and leadership? He says management, by the way, this is from Wikipedia, which is, of course, the source of all facts. It says, what is management? It says management is the act of getting people to accomplish desired goals. So every day you're managing. What is leadership? Leadership is influencing a group of people to move towards a common goal or achievement. Okay, you get the difference. One of them is managing tasks. You can get a project manager to do that. The other is about leading a team to achieve common goals. Often ones that you may not have set yourself, but ones that have been set on behalf of the company. And the moment you accept leadership, the moment that you say, I'm going to be a leader, your life changes forever. Okay? You agree to a contract that is fundamentally different than the contract of the manager or the employee. Now, how about an analogy to explain it? Here's a good analogy. When you agree to drive a car, you agree to behave differently than the passengers. You don't read. You probably don't watch television. Probably, in some states or countries, you're not allowed to use a phone unless it's hands-free. Just by being a driver, by even being the designated driver, you've agreed to a different set of things than the passengers agreed. What the passenger can get away with, you no longer can, because you hold in your hands or in the wheel the life of those people. My point to you is that leadership versus management, leadership versus being an employee, is like accepting the role of the driver of the car. You take on a series of responsibilities that are different from that of the passenger. By accepting the role as a leader at AMD, you take on responsibilities that are fundamentally different than that of maybe the managers that work for you or the employees that work for them. There are just some things you can't do. Okay, bitching about the stupidity of the senior management is a good example of something you can't do. Now, maybe to your peers, but you've got to remember, well, you might not think of it, you're now the man. You are the corporation. To the people that work for you, you represent AMD. So when you say, well, I think that's a stupid idea, that's AMD saying to AMDers, we've done something stupid. You're a director, you are viewed as an executive of the company. You may not feel like it, you may not think you have the responsibility, you may not think you have the controls. But to the people that work for you on the front line, you are AMD. What you say and the way you behave will fundamentally affect what they think about AMD. And I don't care how well they know you. I don't care how long you've worked together. I don't care that you live next door to them and that you go to barbecues every other week with their family. The moment you became a director, the moment that somebody viewed you as somebody who's being looked at as a higher potential candidate in the company, the fact that your team know you're on this course will change the way they think about you and the perceptions they have about what you say and what you do.
Bottom line here is I think the skills of management are clearly essential to leadership, but leadership is more about creating a vision and getting people to follow you in order to achieve that vision.